Good morning and welcome to Relevant News. Today's March 26, 2014. Crimean Chief Prosecutor Natalia Polonska, I'm sure I butchered that name, wanted by Ukraine's security service. Ukrainian National Secretary of Service has put Crimea's Chief Prosecutor Natalia Polonskaya on its wanted list. She is charged of taking actions aimed at the violent overthrow of constitutional order and takeover of government power. Natalia took the office as Crimean defied the coup-imposed government in Kiev and sought independence from Ukraine. After the peninsula joined the Russian Federation, she was appointed as Crimea's acting chief prosecutor by Russia's General Yuri Cherkaya. The Ukrainian National Service for Securities and Defense accused her of violating Article 109 of the Criminal Code, which deals with overthrow of the government. Natalia became somewhat of an internet sensation due to her relative youth, attractive appearance, and emotional media conferences. A number of anime-style drawings of her fish are currently circulating the web, with many supporters calling her kawaii prosecutor, after the Japanese term for cuteness. And she is cute and young-looking. In the picture on the video, she looks a little bit unhappy, but you can imagine that she could be rather attractive with a smile on her face. And this is something to keep your eye on, folks, because if a smart, intelligent person is joining sides with Russia, perhaps there's a reason she's doing so. People are always, especially on our side, pointing fingers at Russia for doing the wrong thing. But there's a reason this woman decided to make the decision she did, and it's good to take note. Ukrainian court bans Russian TV broadcasts. The majority of Ukrainian providers have stopped broadcasting 4 main Russian TV channels in a move the Russian Foreign Ministry calls a violation of international obligations and attack on media freedom. It certainly can be considered only in terms of an attack on democratic freedoms and a violation of international obligations by the Ukraine, the Ministry of Commissioner on Human Rights told RIA Novostia. Dolgov said that Kiev's court decision to ban Russian TV content violates every right to watch TV and have access to media in Russia. The commissioner said that although authorities in Kiev came to power in an anti-constitutional coup, they had promised and declared commitment to basic human rights and freedoms and democratic principles. Of course, this decision in no way fits with such a declaration, said Dolgov, questioning Kiev's commitment to other fundamental rights and freedoms as well. Folks, we're seeing Russia really put its place out there and start to make a case for the fact that they are taking over Crimea. North Korea fires 2 missiles at its rivals meet. North Korea test-fired 2 medium-range ballistic missiles Wednesday, South Korea and the United States said. Pyongyang's defiant move came during a 3-way summit of its rivals, Seoul, Tokyo, and Washington, that focused on security threat posed by the North. The launch of the Rodong missiles for the first time since 2009 is a violation of UN Security Council resolutions and marks a big escalation from a series of shorter-range rocket launches the North has conducted in recent weeks to protest continuing annual military drills by Washington and Seoul that the North claims are preparation for an invasion. The missiles flew about 430 miles off North Korea's east coast early Wednesday morning. South Korean Defense Ministry spoke Kim Min-sok told reporters if it was not immediately clear where the missiles splashed down, Kim said the missiles were likely fired from a mobile launcher. Folks, UFO news is a little slow for today, so I wanted to talk to you about the Hale Crater on Mars. It's been around and been on the internet for quite some years. The Hale Crater is a 150 by 125 kilometer crater on Mars, just north of the Argyre Basin. It was created by an asteroid roughly 35 kilometers across that impacted an oblique angle about 3.5 to 3.8 billion years ago. The rim and the ejector eroded and show similar impacts, but subsequent deposits have been covered up. Guys, the Hale Crater has long been on the internet for having what appears to be some sort of civilization, either present or past. It's been debunked many times by people saying that it's just pixelations that people are picking out. But there's also evidence that it could be something other than the pixelation. Very interesting. You can pull this up on the European space website and download it yourself and see that the images are in fact for real. Go over it a little bit here for you right now. This is just one of the images of what people are saying is a city-like location over on in the Hale Crater, and I've studied this for many hours and completely intrigued by this. But if you can see, this is zoomed in and had a little coloration done to it. You see structures that definitely show that there's some intelligent design in this particular photograph and as it's zoomed in. And people will say that this is pixelation, that this is just from the fact that the camera. But I want to show you just above the crater at the same zoomed in and coloration that the pixelation is not there. This is a picture right here just above the crater at the same magnification, and folks, you don't see that same pixelization, you don't see that same structure of the cities that were parent cities that are built in the Hale Crater. Folks, let's just believe what we see here in our eyes. There are many things on Mars, and I believe also on the moon, that indicate that there's been extraterrestrial, if not us, from millions of years ago, presence on both of those planets. That's all for today. Have a wonderful day and keep your eyes open.